Today is the last day of testing these products from Maybelline, Wet n Wild, and Morphe, and wearing the Plum Season Colourpop palette on my eyes. You want to see how I get this look? Then stay tuned. Good morning and happy Sunday. I hope you've had a great weekend so far. Welcome to the Daily Beauty Story. My name is Amanda Hall. I'm 55 years old and all the pertinent information is listed down in the description box, as long with timestamps and product links and all the things. And so if you're interested in any of the products that I use today, they are listed below. And if you click on them and purchase, I earn a small commission. Great if you do, great if you don't. I really truly want you to find things for your makeup collection that helps you create beauty stories that you will love. So let's get into today's beauty story. We're not changing it up from yesterday too much. I'm going to switch to this Plum Season palette from Colourpop. I need some purple in my life, so we're going to do some purple. And then I'm going to go back to my tried and true eyelash combination. No falsies today, so we're just going to crank through this. I am back using the Morphe Buff 4C concealer. Really enjoying this. I actually really like the color of this. I'm kind of hard to please when it comes to concealers. I want the right balance of highlight and coverage for my darker circles and for just to be a little more closely to my skin color, which is really difficult for me having a cool olive undertone to find foundations and concealers that are a good match for me. And I feel like this one is really a good fit for what I want from a concealer. It's creamy, but not too high, not too slippery, I would say. It blends beautifully. It highlights without being too bright. I'm just really, really liking this. It may be giving my Colourpop Pretty Fresh concealer, which is absolutely 100% my holy grail, a run for its money. And that's saying a lot because I have used that concealer for a long time, and this is quickly giving that a run for its money, and just love the way that it looks. I am not going all the way out because of all my fine line and wrinkling out here. I figure the less amount of product we put out there, the better. Just kind of like around my mouth with my deeper wrinkling around in certain areas. I've been trying to put less foundation there. So that's the thought process. I still want it to blend, but I don't want it to, I may put a little more on my cheeks and forehead, but trying to be a little softer around my mouth, especially with a foundation like this Best Skin Ever from Sephora. This is in the color 19.5P. With the Sephora sale coming up, I thought I would break out some of my Sephora collection products that I have that I love and just kind of show you what they are. And so this is one I really liked. I think I'm still liking it. Again, I have to be pretty careful around my mouth area with this because it is thicker and because it is a fuller coverage, a little heavier on the skin. I just have to be more careful. And Millie heard something. And so I just have to be a little more careful around the areas that are problems for me, specifically around my mouth. Something got her upset. It's okay, Millie. And I think that this color is just maybe a little off for me. I mean, it does oxidize down a little bit and look a little more towards my color, but I would say that this is probably actually a little light for me. I might try to, when the Sephora sale comes around, I might try to pick up a darker shade. I mean, I do like this. I just know what I need to do with it product-wise, you know, where I put it and where I need less, where I can get away with just swiping. So there is the foundation. I don't know. I feel tired from this weekend. I did teach yesterday, and when you teach and you kind of have to be on your, you know, when you're on your game, when you're really stepping up and wanting to make sure that you're communicating effectively in that environment, I feel like I was a little more, not on edge is the right word, but just a little more, just on my game. Like I needed to be, and so that took a little more energy. So I think, you know, I'm feeling a little like, ugh, today, not mentally, just kind of physically, just feeling a little, I gotta get refuel some of this energy back into me. We're gonna use the Sephora Collection Contour Stick in Fair to Light. Now this is very gray, and is definitely more the tone of what I like to wear. Now this is a little more scary looking, but as you will see, it blends into the skin, at least on me, very well. And so I just really like the color of this. It contours and gives me looks that I really like without being too noticeable, I guess is the right word. I mean, you can see it, but I like giving myself that contoured, a little more chiseled look to kind of enhance the features that I have that I like. I kind of went a little crazy on the nose here. And I know you can see under here, this is, you know, kind of pushes back, you know, a contour will push back areas that may be something you want to hide. And so if you're getting, you know, as we get older, things start to sag. So if you have those gels, you know, doing a bit of contouring will help minimize those and push them back. At least that's been my experience. So there is the contour on. And I'm using the F85 from Sigma. I use all Sigma brushes. They are the best and by far all the only brushes I use mostly. I do have some other ones, but these, we're going to use the, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to use the Sun Kisser for Maybelline, the matte blush, and this is in Berry Punch. Yesterday I put way too much on my skin. So I'm going to use a little bit of a softer dot today. I still think this might be a little bit much. And then I do give it a good rub out on my hand. As you can see. And then let's just get, yesterday I went a little ham. And I needed to touch it up a little bit. So I shared this tip yesterday. If you do tend to over blush on accident, then you can use your foundation brush to kind of give it a little bit of a tamp down if you need to. Here we go. That actually turned out really good today, I think. I run it across the nose just kind of to blend in this area. I usually focus my blush because I do have these cheeks right there to focus the blush there so that that gives me a nice little rosy glow on the cheeks. So you can see I used way too much product still even with that one. So, and it did stain my skin for quite some time yesterday. I was like, oh, I even used some oil makeup remover, and I'm wiping it with one of these Neutrogena, but you can still see it's still got outline of the blush on there. All right, let's go into the highlighter, which I've been using this Wet n Wild MegaGlo, and this has been growing on me. I will have to say my first impression of it was kind of just blah, meh. But as I'm starting to work with the cloud light over top of it, it's actually really been beautiful, and I've really been enjoying the look that it has been giving. So I'm definitely warming up to this product and am more leaning towards adding it to my personal collection of highlighters. I don't have very many highlighters. I have 1, 2, I have 3 highlighters over there. So I'm not, you know, I usually will, at least in my personal collection right now. And so this one might migrate over there because I've just been liking how it is looking. Now, if you have a lot of texture on your skin, I just have a lot of wrinkling. I don't mind giving a little enhancement to that. It doesn't bother me. It is what it is. I have fine lines and wrinkles. Would I love my face to be perfect and smooth? And could I get Botox to do that? Yeah, I could easily. But I like the experience that my face shows. Shows that, you know, I'm a little happy. I love life. You know, the wrinkles just when they show when I smile and am enjoying things, then I'm okay with that. I'm going to embrace it. So I'm just going to make sure if there's any creasing, which I don't notice a ton. Before I set this down, I just tap that out a little bit here. And then I've just been using this Morphe Cloud Light in the color Dawn, and I've really been enjoying it. Really been. I never thought, I mean, I have setting powders. In fact, I have a setting powder to try from Wet n Wild that's the pink to go underneath the eyes. So I'll be giving that a try. I'm not normally that, but if you do, I would absolutely recommend giving this a try because it is really, really, really good. I've really been liking it. Let's see now. Let's go to eyebrows, and I'm just going to use the same combination as yesterday. My Milani Precision Brow in Ebony, the Lift and Snatch in Ash Brown, and my Maybelline Super Lock. I've shared with you that I like the dimension that this gives using, you know, because my eyebrows are so sparse from over tweezing over the years, to, you know, draw in my brows. And I don't mind going a little bit darker with my brow sometimes. Sometimes I like to be a little more minimal, but you know, the eyebrows really do frame the eyes. And, you know, I do wear glasses most of the day. And I don't know, there's just something that with these darker eyebrows, I just enjoy how they frame not only my face, but my glamour eye looks that I create. And so I don't mind a little bit darker of a brow. You know, my hair used to be this almost black color before I decided to let my natural gray grow in. And so I don't mind wearing a darker eyebrow and having it stand out a little bit more. And using this black pencil and then using a cooler toned brown, that I think is what gives it the dimension and kind of makes them look a little more realistic. Because when you draw them in, they're obviously, you know, you're drawing them in so they don't look as natural or realistic, especially like me who has to kind of try to even out my brows. And so adding a pen just makes that a little more of a realistic look for me and just gives it some added dimension that it might need. So give this a little shake. Now I have learned that with these type of pens, it's easier to have them stored this way with the pen down so that the color stays in the pen. So it makes it easier when you go to apply that you already have product there and you can just go. And even with the little shake when you lay it flat, it still takes a little bit for the product to find its way down to the tip. Okay, we're gonna let that dry for a second. Oh, look, my next color, Awala. I don't think I have eight or nine different colors. I like it's fun to mix it up, and I only use it for the day and then I wash them. Just like in case I'm sick and I'm drinking out of those, I just want to keep giving it back to myself. So I usually have a little stack on my sink, or I put them into the dishwasher to give them a good wash. And again, this product, the Super Lock, it really does lock down your brows. And it can make them a little bit crunchy. So if you don't like that feeling of it being a little crunchy, I wouldn't recommend this one for you. The NYX is the Milani wax, I think it's the Stay Put. That is really good if you don't like that. It does a great job of holding without the stiffness. So that's a great product to try if you're looking to do your brows and you need them to hold, but you don't like the crunchy feeling. That one's a really good product. I don't mind the crunchy feeling. I think this does a really good job of keeping my eyebrows up. And so that's what I'm using for today. So are we ready to tackle the eyes? My favorite thing in the world. Let's play with some eyeshadow. Now, the reason I do a transition here is because I only have 30 minutes of recording time on my card or on this camera. And so usually eyeshadow is a good place to stop so I don't max out and get cut off. So I said I was going to use the Plum Season today. This is one of those palettes from Colourpop I've used frequently. And so I think we're going to start off with, get my glasses on, I'll tell you kind of the color story we're going to go into. I'm going to use So Delish, which is this one up here on the brow area, my crease area. And then I'm actually going to go with Out Late, which is this darker purple on the outer edge and in the crease area. And then I'm probably going to use a little bit of this Iconic Behavior on the outside. And then I'll go up here in Groovy and use that on the lid, and then go in with this pink. Ooh, go in with this pink. I'll show you again when we go into it, but that one is Juicy AF. You can definitely tell that they make these shadow names for a younger crowd, which is okay. I always feel a little awkward reading that. I'm not much of a, I know what it means. but I'm not much of a cursor. So, all right, let's go in with So Delish, and I'm just using my Sigma E40. And I did wipe it off on my switch just to make sure. This is a palette you can pick up from like Target. This is something they usually carry in stock. This line of 9-pan palettes there at Target. So this is a good place to, pick that up. If you're interested, sometimes these go on sale on the Colourpop website. So if you're subscribed to their newsletter, they recently had a new palette come out, a Disney palette for Toy Story. I was looking at it, I couldn't decide. I didn't pull the trigger on it. I still might, but I don't know. But this is one of my favorite, you know, purple shadow palettes from them. There's an all amethyst one that's really pretty. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of purple ones that I have from them that I've kept in my collection just because I am a big purple girl. Okay, so then we're gonna go in with Out Late, and I'm gonna use a little denser, bigger, fluffy brush out there. And we're gonna go just kind of right on this tip of the brow bone into my crease. Because I have deep set eyes and I have more real estate up on top, you know, I really consider that more my crease area that people talk about, as I just use this little bit to go up here just to blend in the outer V area that I like to go out with here. Darken out this outer corner just to make this more smoky and, you know, kind of what I feel comfortable with in the way that I do my eyeshadow looks. So, and kind of press on the underneath of that brow bone and then going into my crease area, which is more deep set, and then down on the outer V. You know, I'm not the most excellent of blenders, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and go under the lower lash line with that color again, Out Late. And I'm using my more pointy precision brush to do that. You know, the step isn't necessary really. I could just go with the just the upper lid to be done, but I just think this kind of just pulls it all together. And especially since I like to go a little more smoky and deeper with my looks, I just think pulling the lower lash line in. Sometimes if I'm doing a little bit lighter look, or I don't go under on the lower lash line, but I mostly do. So I love this Precision Point E45 brush, really good for that. Okay, I'm just gonna try, so I'm gonna probably trust two-thirds of the eyebrow or the eyelid in this color, which is, let me remember what this color is. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Iconic Behavior. This one in like 2/3, and then we're going to kind of use this in the inner third, just so I can show you some of these colors. I don't want to go too far in with this one. But I do kind of just blend it up so it adds that extra dimension to the whole look. And I just use the ring finger, produces the least amount of pressure. That's why I usually use my ring finger on my lids and underneath the eye. If you're ever tapping in your concealer, use your ring finger. Puts the least amount of strength or pressure on there. Okay, since we're gonna go into the inner corner with this Gravity, I'm actually gonna use this with my pencil brush, and then we'll wipe this off. But I wanted to go a little deeper on the inner corner area with this color, just to kind of brighten this little area up. A little bit different than I normally do, but trying to blend those colors together. This is just such a pretty color. We're gonna even brighten it up more with the pink color, but I wanted to kind of get a little bit try to switch it up just a teeny bit. I'm kind of just getting that inner third. All right, let me give this a good switch. Any excess color. And then we're gonna go in with, oh yeah, this is the Juicy AF. Going with this. And we're gonna use this up in the brow bone as a highlight. Such a pretty color. Really good highlight. And then we're gonna use this on the inner corner and lower lash line. I'm gonna go in here and run this along the lower lash line. Do you have any plans for today? Any Sunday plans? I have church today, and I just ended to do a few little things around the house today, prepping for the week ahead, and so yeah, that's the plan for me today. Nothing too exciting. I am going to do a waterline, tight line with this deep violet from LA Girl. But I'm gonna give my lashes a curl first, and then we'll use the, oh, I guess I left my lip color in my purse. I'm gonna give these a good curl today since I'm not wearing faux lashes. I'm just gonna give this a good workout and get those lashes up. Okay, and I'm gonna tight line, like I said, with this deep violet from LA Girl. Just to give it a little more oomph. You know, I like the Sephora collection black lace, the gel eyeliner, 12-hour wear. It's what I use in the waterline when I'm going real super smoky and using faux lashes, I use that color. So that's a good Sephora collection one. I use their cool toned taupe color on my eyebrows, which I really love. So let's see here. I'm using my Lash Princess primer. And I did add this to my Ulta order so I could pick up another one. And I just love what this does to my lashes underneath most mascaras. So I like the color because it really lets me see my lashes so that when I'm putting on my mascara, I know that I'm hitting all the spots I need to hit. Sometimes, you know, you miss these little inner lashes just because you get busy, you know, you just go. You know, I sit here and record mine, but, you know, if you get busy and you're on the go, you miss those little areas, and part of this inner corner eyelash is, you know, part of what adds an enhancement to your lashes. So I like to make sure I get those, and then reminds me if I get all these in the inner, I'll know where I need to go put mascara, because I don't want to leave it turquoise out there. So there we go. And then, of course, my fave, the L'Oreal Panorama. I'm actually going to let that dry down for a second. And I'll be right back. Okay, back. Got my lip for today out of my purse. Let's go ahead and get my mascara on. So if you have a bracket for March Madness, is it still intact? Or are you still have a hope? Do you have teams that are still surviving? I'd love to know. You know, this is the first year in a while I haven't done a bracket. But then again, I wasn't watching a lot of college basketball. Which has been the first time in a long time. Normally I'm all about it. I guess with fantasy football, that's kind of like the one thing that I will invest my time in, because I play that with my family. We have a family league, and so like my dad and my brother-in-law and my kids, you know, there's a group of us that all play together. And just, it's really fun to play fantasy football against everybody, you know, or competition who's not speaking to each other that week. And it's fun. So I guess I invest my time more in during the football season, although I love college basketball. I've always loved college basketball. You know, really interesting to me how name in likeness is really impacting not only college football, but it's also impacting college basketball. In fact, I think it has more of an effect on college basketball. You know, for example, I follow San Diego State men's basketball because that's where I'm originally from, and I have followed them for years, decades. We're talking decades. And, you know, we have our coaches are really good at developing players. And then, you know, they'll get more money from another school because they're doing so well with us. We have a kid who helped us on our Final Four run a couple years ago, is now at Kentucky. You know, so they get offered money from these bigger schools, and it's hard on teams for smaller Division I schools. I mean, obviously we have a good name making it to the Final Four, although we got our butts kicked in the first round this year, but we have mostly freshmen starting. So it's kind of to be expected, but because we had a decent season, and we've got a 7-footer that they've developed, although he was out injured for the last couple of games. You know, we're developing these good players. Well, they get offered bigger money from these bigger schools that have bigger boosters and more funds available to give these student athletes, because most of them aren't going to go play professional and make money, so they go. So it really does change the landscape of the game. I used to think the one and dones were hard on college basketballs because you only have them for a year and then they're gone. And I always thought that was a little unfair, but I thought it was great for the kid, but there's not that many of those anymore. And most of these kids now are thinking, okay, well, I can earn a good amount of money for my family immediately. And that's what they decide to do. So interesting how those things kind of change up the game. So there's the eyelashes. I'm just going to use the same. Holy cow, how did I get that back on so strong? Goodness gracious. Same lip combination as yesterday, dressed to the 90s, is the Sephora retractable lip liner, and then my e.l.f. in Pleased, and then Diamond Drama in the Revlon Glimmer. And so I definitely am adding a few more colors of these just to see how they fare. You know, this one is so close to my natural lip color that, you know, I haven't noticed it migrating out of into my wrinkling lip lines around my lips, unless I accidentally put it there. But I wonder if a darker color would migrate more, so I'll probably pick up a couple of shades to see what it might do. So here we go. Pleased. This is the e.l.f. O Face. These are just a perfect bullet lipstick, and they look cute too, even better. And then the Revlon Glimmer in Diamond Drama. I just love how that just adds to the lips. Could have used the lavender one. I should have used the lavender one. I like this one. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, here's the final look for today. This will be our last day with most of these products, so I can move on and test some other foundations that I have that I really would like to put to the test. This Best Skin Ever, again, I think I might pick it up in a little bit darker shade since I know how to work with it. I like the look that it gives, but it is just a little bit too light for me, I think. I'm actually going to pick up another of these Sephora contour sticks just because this melted and I'm just OCD like that. But I love the way that this just gives me that chiseled look. I may still be playing with this, but I am going to try the Wet n Wild pink powder, the Photo Focus. So that will be in Monday night's first impressions. I'll be trying that. But this definitely going. This you know, you will see this again in the future. You will see this again in the future. This Sun Kisser blush, really pretty. Oh, jury's still out if this will make it into my personal collection. I do have a color from Juvia's Place that is very similar to this. So not 100% sure where that will fall out by the end of the month. Let's see here. Oh, the highlighter. Yeah, this is probably going to make it into the personal collection. Really am enjoying that. I've used the eyebrows before. This lip combination I'm really loving. These are already in my personal collection. Of course, I'm wearing my favorite eyelashes today, my natural lashes. So that is the beauty story for today. Remember, every piece of makeup in your collection serves a purpose, and together they create a beauty story. So why not be intentional and be confident, have fun, be bold, and don't be afraid to show who you are and create a beauty story you will love. See you tomorrow.